my bitch gon' flex, yeah. Got all these weak bitches pressed, yeah. All shit I rock out her neck, yeah. These hoes can't contest, yeah. Me and my bitch gon' flex, yeah. We gon' flex, we get our flex on. Me and my bitch gon' flex, yeah. We gon' flex, we get our flex on, yeah. I keep my bitch with the big bags, going there with this a big tag.
Real life street stars. We in here with somebody who I don't really feel like need no introduction. He been a staple in the city for a long time, but we're gonna do it anyway. D.Tall, man, what it is, boy.
Hey, what up, though? What's happening?
Hey, you already know, man. You know, it's some new cats out here. We gonna entertain new cats. You know, young cats who ain't been up on the music scene, ain't up on you yet. Tell them where you from and how long you been doing your thing.
Yeah, D.Tall, man. I'm originally from Dayton, Ohio. It's a small little ratchet city you probably never heard of, but Dallas is home, though. Like, I've been in the city for 13 years. You feel me? So the D is the crib, you know.
I'm just curious. What's the scene like out there in Dayton?
Man, it really ain't too much of a scene, to be honest with you, man. It's just kind of like it's so small. Everybody hustling on top of each other. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say it's like a small Detroit. You feel me?
Yeah.
But it's the crib though. Like I'm from there. The spot I grew up in the same spot as Cat Williams.
Oh, that's
like
wild.
Same. Yeah, like buildings over.
That's crazy. Yeah. So did you actually run into him when you was like doing your thing? Or?
Nah, hell no. He way older than me.
Oh,
Yeah. My pops did.
Yeah.
You know, my pops did dice games and you know.
That nigga Cat Williams crazy as hell, bro.
Yeah, he wild.
Man, so you landed here in Dallas, man. So are you from Dallas? What part of the city are you living in right now?
North side.
North side of Dallas? Okay. Not Dallas.
Yeah, bro.
Man, North Dallas, man, home with some of the legends, man. Mr. Pookie, Mr. Lucci. You know, we got T Cash, we got Mo3 coming out the city, man.
Shout out to T Cash.
Man, shout out to the North, man. So how do you feel about the music scene in Dallas right now?
I feel like Dallas got his second shot. You know what I mean? Like right now, just because I felt like when the whole boogie wave came through, we might not have capitalized on it like we could have.
Facts.
You know what I mean? That was a big time when I felt like we had a chance to be Atlanta Junior, you know.
Man, why do you think that we killed our own movement, bro? That's the dumbest shit ever, man.
Yeah, it's I feel like it was a lot of hate, man. I feel like a lot of big cities do have the crabs in a bucket mentality. Even the small cities got it. But I think, like, at that time, for whatever reason, man, you had some of the street guys that was like, nah, we ain't dancing. I ain't about to boogie. You know, like, it's not going to happen. But I feel like at the time it would have made sense for even the guys that didn't really, like, agree with the movement to get behind it just because that put the light on the city, and that's important. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of what lane you in. You feel me?
Man, and it's so crazy because that you said that because that took us back so far. You know, it's cats like you that's been on the scene, and you know you wasn't necessarily a part of the boogie movement, but you was just a dope lyricist. And instead of it, when the spotlight went away, it took away from the individuals who had the talent, who could have broke through.
Yeah.
Now, but like you said, it's coming back around. So now that this we had this new little wave coming through, we got the Yellow Beezies and the Trap Boys and things of that different nature. How do you plan to, you know, make sure that this time you catch that wave? You know what I'm saying?
Man, like I feel like what it comes down to is just everybody like skating their lane. Like I didn't veer off even then. Like I wasn't a part of the boogie movement. I had records, you know what I mean, that went, you know, at the time. But I feel like if everybody just stay in their lane, that's what I plan on doing is skating mine to the fullest. You know, you can't crash if you stay in your lane.
Amen. So, you know, as you see the culture changing now, it's moving to kind of like Dallas, we're heavy with the trap era, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And the guns and things of that nature. Do you think that do you think it would be more harder for like an artist that's just coming pure lyricism, that's just really spitting, to come in this type of era?
I don't, and the reason I don't think it's that difficult is because times have changed. Like we living in a social media driven time period. You feel me? And it's a song for every situation. You know what I'm saying? So it's a demographic. It's a lane. You know what I mean? Like you got the Lecrae lane. You got the trap lane. You got the skater lane. You got all these different lanes that fly. So I feel like if everybody just go hard in their lane, we gonna be Gucci as a city. And everybody just got to hold each other down, for real. Like, I feel like everybody should be back in Yellow Beezy right now.
Man, yeah,
You got to. I mean, like, you got to. You ain't got to like that man personally, but what he doing right now, you got to back it. If you in the city, you got to back it.
You should back it. You know what I'm saying? But they almost try to take him out.
Yeah.
And I feel like, damn, you know, like every time somebody gets a little notoriety, something happens.
Yep.
But, man, let's talk about your album, man. Real.
Yeah.
Real.
Yep.
Now, you hit him with like 24 tracks, you know?
It was a bit heavy.
It was heavy, you know, but not necessarily a bad thing because I like long albums. But I'm curious your mindset behind that because in the world that we live in now, people are coming with such short albums, 7 to 10, you know, and you hit them with the full-length project. So what was your mind frame behind that?
I think, like, really it's just so much music over the years. I felt like I needed to get all of that out. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense. It's like, I guess, like, I could have took them tracks and, like, narrowed it down to, 10 records or something of that nature. But, nah, like, I felt like you got to get this whole body of work. You feel me? That's just how I felt on it.
Right. And not only that, you had some hard-hitting features on here, man. E40,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Fat Pimp.
Yeah.
B-Hamp, you
What's
went and
up,
got
Fat?
B-Hamp. You know what I'm saying? How does an independent artist as yourself link up with somebody like Jay White for the beats, who's done, you know, Cardi B, you know, killing that, and E40, a legend?
Yeah. Well, like the Jay White situation, like I was rocking with Jay White a long time ago. Like Jay White really from the Midwest originally. Like I'm from, you know what I mean, the Midwest. So I linked up with Jay White. Like there's records that crazy on the production from years and years ago. You know what I mean? It's just the world is just now getting on to what he got going on. So yeah, like I've been rocking with Jay White for a long time.
Do you flex that like, man, I got a Jay White track?
Like, I'm about to start for real.
I'd have his ass all in the video like Diddy, bro.
Yeah. You know what's crazy? I actually got a record with Jay White called Have You Ever that's on the Real album, and he's singing the hook. And a lot of people don't know Jay White got pipes. He ain't just a producer. He cold. You know what I mean? He a musician.
He's a musician.
Yeah, he a musician. He a savage for real.
So how did you end up linking up with E40 though?
So the E40 record. So I spent like a whole summer in the LA area just recording. Like I felt like I needed to get out of this bubble, get out the city, get out this region. So I just set up shop in LA. Basically kept recording, and it was kind of like when the DJ Mustard BPM, the up tempo was really in, and I recorded the track Them Hills, and it was really the studio engineer's idea. He was just like, man, you really need to get a LA artist on this because that's the wave right now. So we went through, you know, like a couple names, and the reason I picked E40 for real was just because the first album that I bought as a kid was The Click, the Hurricane, the E40 joint. So, you know, in my mind as an artist coming up, I'm thinking like how dope to the first CD I bought as a kid, I grow up and then I do a record with you.
And what's even crazier is he's still doing his thing.
Still doing his thing. Still relevant. Still coming up with slang. You know what I mean? Like so much game with that guy. Shout out 40 Water.
Now you mentioned B-Hemp, Fat Pimp, B-Hemp.
Yeah.
Artist that's been around for years and years, just like yourself. How good does it feel to, you know, still be, you know, have survived so many different movements, so many, you know, just the culture of the city from all the hating that going on and still being relevant to this day?
Man, I just feel like it's a blessing, really. You know what I mean? To still be relevant and kind of go from where we was, like the tail end of the boogie movement, to being new school, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? Like it kind of go back to the stand in your lane thing. Like just still being relevant is a blessing for real.
And you mentioned that you went out to Cali, you know, just to change your space. You know what I'm saying? Get a different feel. You know, I ask cats that question a lot of time. If you could go somewhere and, you know, just to get your mind right, they'd be like either Atlanta or Cali. What made you come back to Dallas? Because a lot of cats, they can't go.
Come back.
You know.
Well, man, I just feel like it's a couple different reasons. Like I got multiple hustles going on to where I had to come back. You feel me? But on top of that, man, like Dallas is home, man. Like I done grown to love this city. You know what I'm saying? Like 13 years is a long time. You know what I'm saying? That I done been out here and it's been good to me. And I felt like the whole LA thing was just something that was a season for me. You feel me? And it's like I had to come back and put on. Like I do feel like you gotta go work outside in ultimately to get people to really like take you serious. You feel me? But at the end of the day, like I had to come back. I still feel like I got to put on the Dallas. Like I damn near owe it something, you know.
That's what's up, man. And then I was looking through, when I looked you up, the most popular song that you got right now on Spotify is called "Them Hills" with Waka Flocka and E40. Yep. It's at about 16,000 views, man. Number one, how did it feel to get Waka Flocka and E40 on the song?
Well, man,
how did that come about?
I think what's so crazy about it, so I did the record in LA, got 40 on the record originally, and the Waka thing happened so organic. Shout out to Waka. I literally reached out to bro. I mean, I knew we followed each other like on the Twitter, so I reached out like, what up, bro? Like I got this record. I was used to hearing Waka like on trap records. So I reached out like, hey, I got this more upbeat, fast BPM record with 40 I want you on. He was like, shoot it to me. Shot it to him. He hit right back like fire emojis. Like I'm rocking with it. Give me a little bit. Like, all right. He shot me the number, was like, hit me. Hit him. He's I'm about to send you over the whole session. He sent over the whole session. It wasn't no business behind it. He just did like a real play. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion, a real play, just knocked it down, sent it right back to me. And that's how that collab came about.
Yeah, it's interesting. My top, 3 favorite songs, just off initially, just Mackin' since 11.
Yeah,
that's my favorite song, bro. Like, and I didn't even watch the video. That's the crazy part. I'm just actually just scrolling through.
You
the
ain't
tracks.
seen the video?
I haven't seen the video
bro,
yet.
Bro, you gotta see the video.
I seen the video after I was listening to music.
Yeah.
But I'm saying it's funny because that's the song I would have picked to make the
yeah.
video. So that's interesting. Real. I liked it because it was like the boom bap shit, and I like it when you rap. But you definitely got, I like Them Hills. To me, it was like a single, and it's crazy because Jay White producing, and I didn't even know that until I read the bio.
Yep.
But again, man, dope product, man. Like I said, I like that you switch it up. You can boom bap, you can hit them with the singles, you hit them with the shit for the ladies. You know what I'm saying? So, what makes you choose to be versatile like that? Some people just stick to one sound.
Man, you know what's so crazy? It's all organic. Like I honestly don't choose to be versatile. It's just like I feel like that's what made Pac so dope. Is like you have like different days where you're in different moments. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not one way every day. If I'm going through a particular situation where I'm hot, I may be doing records that's got that type of energy. You know what I'm saying? Or if I'm going through a situation with my lady or whoever I'm dealing with, like at that time or whatever, that's where, like the chick records come from. It's just like however you live in your life. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's how I feel like music is supposed to be produced.
Right. Man, and then you got the song, man, Rock Bottom. Man, you referenced being suicidal at one point. You know what I'm saying? Facing charges and maybe having to go away for a while,
Yeah.
So can you talk a bit about that song?
Yeah. So that's probably the most vulnerable record I've ever done to this point. And it's just crazy. Like I addressed the whole suicidal situation. And then as far as like the possibly having to go away situation, it's so crazy that the way this unfolded. But basically I had a show, and this is a couple years back. I had a show that was in Mahia, Texas, which is right outside of Waco.
Right.
And kind of like a hole in the wall venue. And everybody on my squad, everybody in my inner circle, nobody could go to this joint. So it was like, my DJ was like, nah, we can't do it. We can't take this one. My manager, my PR, everybody was like, nah. Even like the niggas in my circle was like, nah, we can't do it. But in my mind, the position I was in, it's like, man, look, they giving me $1,000 and a bottle, and I need to go get this bread. So what ended up happening was like, my mindset was like, I'm gonna go out here on some young independent artist stuff and just do the show. So I took my pistol, you know what I'm saying, like out there with me. Not on no, trying to be reckless, but I just took it just because I was going out there solo dolo. And show went good. Everything was cool. It wasn't no smoke. Everything was good. Next day I wake up. I'm about to go tell the promoters who was staying a couple doors down from me. I'm going to go tell the promoters, I appreciate them booking me. They was some guys that had a bunch of upcoming shows coming up in Florida, South Carolina. I wanted to be a part of what they was doing. So I was just going to tell them, adios or whatever. So I go knock on the door. I go in. It's like 4 or 5 guys in there. Some of them smoking. A girl over there on her phone. It was just a lot going on. You know what I'm saying? So I'm in the room chopping it up with the promoters. You know the difference between somebody knocking at the door, somebody knocking at the door. You know what I'm saying? So it's like them boys, came in and, the one dude, they call old boy in mid puff. They like, okay, so obviously Y'all in here smoking. Y'all got, like what's going on. And mind you, my whole thing is I got my backpack on. I didn't already deal what I got to do. I got paid last night. I'm about to get on, I'm going back to Dallas. You know what I'm saying? So I felt like I was good in the situation, but the officers just kept saying, like, I'm gonna ask y'all one time. I'm gonna ask y'all individually, do y'all got weed? You know what I'm saying? Who got drugs? Y'all got pills? What y'all got? And they kept saying, all them guys that I didn't know, you feel me, kept saying, like, nah, we don't got nothing. You know what I'm saying? So they was like, all right, bet. They start going through bags. As soon as they start going through bags, they go in Buddy's bag. He got bro, he got the whole thing. Then he got a separate box in individual bags. You know what I'm saying? Intent to, man, it was crazy, bro. So I'm still thinking like, shit, I feel sorry for Buddy. You know what I'm saying? But I'm posted up. I got my backpack on. It was like several officers in the room. The other officer come up and she say, oh, another thing. She was like, does anybody have any firearms, any weapons? And I'm like, oh, shit, like I forgot I do got this damn pistol on me. So I feel like let me go ahead and let them know what I got so I can be on my way, not knowing the law. You know what I'm saying? So when I say that, I tell them, like, yeah, I got a 9 in my backpack. And old girl's just demeanor just, she just fall like, oh, man. And I'm thinking like, what's the big deal? Officer step up to me and whisper in my ear. He was like, in the state of Texas, anytime drugs is in the presence of a firearm, the charges go on the individual with the firearm. So at that time, I'm like, I'm seeing my life flash before my eyes. I'm thinking about my daughter. I'm thinking about like, like, what you mean?
Hold on, the cop told you that?
Yeah.
Oh, so he tried like, you fucked up, don't you?
Yeah. Hell yeah. He just like, yeah, it's a mandatory like 3 to 5. So I'm thinking like, what you mean? Like I got an 8-month-old daughter. Like, nah, it can't go down like this or whatever. So anyway, I'm shook at the moment. So they had me pop out from where I'm profiled. They cuffed me and all this jazz. So I'm sick. I'm just looking at the ground thinking about like where my life about to go. And then it was a female officer. The female officer come up to me and she say, can I ask you something? I'm like, yeah. She was like, so you're out here for a show, right? And I'm like, yeah, I'm out here for a show. I'm an artist or whatever. She was just like, you getting any radio play? And I'm like why would you be asking me that in this demographic right now? But I was just like, yeah, why? She was just like, well, before I went to the academy, I used to work for a radio station, 97.9. She was like, you know who Big Bink is? I was like, at the time, DJ Big Bink was with 97.9. I was like, yeah, that was the first guy to play my record. And she was like, really? And I was like, yes, ma'am. I was like, I'm just out here for a show. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the only reason I'm here. Like, my team couldn't come with me. Only reason I even brought the pistol was because I was going to be solo dolo. Like, I didn't want to be out here looking bad. You know what I'm saying? So, like, that's really the way it went down. So, I see her go over and talk to the other officers, and she over there, you could tell politicking, like, So, the officer come back to me, say, where's the room you stayed in? And I'm like, it's right there. You know what I'm saying? So, he walked me over there, take the little room key, put it in, we go in, and he uncuffed me and say, where your backpack? I said, the other officer got it. Other officer come in. He take the gun, put the clip back in it, put that joint on safety, put it in my backpack and told me, get lost. You know what I'm saying? I dipped out. And it's just so crazy. Like, I was just telling my manager, like, I had studio time earlier. I was talking to a dude that just finished his bid. You know what I'm saying? And he went for the exact same situation that happened. It was, you know what I'm saying, the drugs accompanied by the firearm, which was his, and he did file for it. You know what I'm saying? God, for whatever reason, that didn't happen to me. I got out of that jam.
Yeah, that's a blessing, man. It's so crazy, man. But man, when you go through situations like that, it lets you know you really have a purpose, and it also kind of teach you a lesson, because you got to watch who you keep your company with and watch how you move.
Yeah.
But man, that's a true blessing for real.
Yeah.
So in your times, I would say that would be like a story that. So how did that make you move differently after that? What was your mindset?
I mean, like after that, like I just felt like I gotta like be more aware of first the laws. You feel me? Because I had no idea.
I never knew, but I never heard of that, bro.
Yeah,
that's fucking crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. So
I know
basically,
about it.
You knew that? So basically, you can have your pistol on you, and somebody come in here with some keys, and it go down, and all them charges going on you, brother. They going on you. It's crazy. It's a crazy setup. But to answer your question, man, I just feel like moving forward, even after that situation, just got to move different and be smarter and know what's going on.
So would you still, let's say, so do you still travel without a team if necessary? Is that still something you would do?
No, absolutely. Hell nah. Nah, no way. I mean, the bag would have to be so crazy for me to do something like that. If the bag right, who knows? I might.
And, so, and what's the protocol when, like, you go to a different state? So do you try to link in with some people out there, or, because, they had a policy a couple of months back where they were talking about niggas got to check in.
Got to check in.
Do things like of that nature.
Yeah.
And so it's not necessarily checking in, but, you built a relationship with people. Do you feel like that's necessary, or do you just be like, I'm just going to be out here?
Really, it really just depends on where you're going. And what I mean by that is like WGCI in Chicago was the first station to put the record with me and E40 in any type of rotation. So I had to go out there and do shows and host venues in the Chi. And it's like, I was thinking the exact same thing. Like, when I go out here, do I need to check in with, with Dirk, with Bibby, with, people that was like popping out there. But, it didn't go for me like that. You know what I'm saying? Just because maybe it's the type of music, that I make. And it wasn't like I was in the trenches. You know what I'm saying? I flew in, did my thing, and burnt out.
And the crazy thing about that, because you never hear about like a Currency or
J. Cole.
None of them. You never hear about nobody having these different type of problems. Only like trap rappers. Only trap rappers got to check in. Like, it almost make it seem like it's not worth it to be gangster. Like, if you just.
Well, the thing is, like, they gonna test it. Like, your gangster is gonna get tested. If you put that out there, you might as well go ahead and get prepared for it, because it's gonna get tested. So if you don't feel like that, or you really ain't rocking out like that, I advise you not to put it on wax.
Amen. So, out of all the Dallas venues you done rocked, which one is your favorite one?
Man, I would probably say, they change the name every 15 minutes, but I like the setup of Club Blue.
Man, I was just gonna say.
Good old day.
Yeah.
Man, just walking up to that motherfucker feels everything.
Yeah, bro. It's just a different element. You know what I'm saying? Like, out of everything, it would definitely be Club Blue, like, just with the setup of the spot. Yeah.
What's the worst thing a promoter's ever done to you?
Worst thing a promoter's ever done to me? Probably just like play with the ends. Like, for the most part, typically the way that it go is they gonna give you a certain percentage prior to coming to the venue or whatever. So it's been times where this happened several times where they send that 50%. Boom, we locked in. You got me promoting the venue on my Twitter and my gram and all of that. But then when we get there, instead of cashing me out, you like, I got to see what the door do. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to get you at the end. I'm
Blame
like,
you
whoa,
like it's your fault.
Yeah, like it's my fault. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it's raining. It's got us all this going. I'm like, nah, bro. Like,
Yeah, niggas would blame everything, bro. It's a cloudy day out here.
Yeah.
Man, when it comes to, like, performing and things like that, as far as the performance, your performance,
yeah.
how serious do you take that craft? Who do you, like, kind of look up to that, has, like, a dope performance that you try to mimic off of? Or
Yeah, well, first off, like, I never been like the type of artist to like get on stage with like a bunch of niggas with me. That's just not like how I rock. You know what I'm saying? And I try to look at like the Jay-Z's, the Kanye's, like, I feel like they do it selfishly. Like, a lot of times, like, they don't even got hype man, but it's like, what do you need them for? You was in the booth by yourself. You know what I'm saying? You put it on wax by yourself. You wrote it by yourself. So present it to your fans and to the people by yourself. That's how I view it.
Man, that's crazy that you say that, because Drake be on stage and he be running back and forth.
Yeah.
He'd just be him behind a veil.
Yeah.
Running back and forth. So what would you say your favorite city is when you're traveling to rock out to?
I think it's something special about Miami. And
yeah, it is.
It is. It's something special about Miami. I think like Miami will humble you.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, Miami will humble you. Like I don't think it matter like who you are. You could have like a Billboard charting record and you still gotta come correct in Miami. But I still rock with it. It's probably one of my favorite spots.
Man, how you feel about King of Diamonds closing down, bro?
you know what? Like, it's something in me right now that is still, I'm hurt.
That hurt my soul.
It's
I ain't even
especially-
hit that yet.
Yeah.
We ain't even get to go there yet. Shit.
Yeah.
Man, so what is your ultimate goal, as for being an artist? Like what do you want to see out of all of this?
For me personally, man, I feel like everybody's version of success is different. The measuring stick for everybody in that regard is different. But for me, I want a Billboard charting single, a top 10 single. Before I'm done with this thing, like that's what it's gotta be. I do it for the love of it. Yeah, like I enjoy everything that like come with it, but I need that Billboard single, before I'm done with it. However that may come for real.
So
It'd be dope if it was with Jay White.
It would be dope if it was with Jay White.
it could happen. It will happen. It will happen. We claiming that. Vanilla Ice still makes 100 and 800 and
Oh, 800 million.
800,000.
No,
800.
He still makes 800,000 annually off of Ice Baby.
Off of that one record.
How important is ownership over your music?
It's everything, really, man. That paperwork got to be right. It's called the music business for a reason, But it's crazy that boy's still bringing in that type of bread off of that one record.
But let's say you made like a bullshit ass song that you didn't really feel, and it went through the roof crazy, and like that was what you was known for. Almost like Joe Budden would pump it up. Like that ain't even him. You know what I'm saying? It's like he just caught one. So how would you handle that? Like trying to move forward and kind of being stuck in that box.
I feel like if it happened when I was like 17, 18, 19, I'd probably be like, oh no, this ain't the business. This ain't the business. But now, you know what I mean? At this point, if that's how it went down, then, so be it. Typically, like whatever the artist feel like the single is gonna be, it don't be that. It always be, that one that it was like, I wasn't really feeling that, but my partner said this was the one, or a DJ said this was the one,
Real talk. You were saying about, getting top 10, charting song.
Yeah.
Let's say you did get a top 10 charting song, but the beat that you did off of, you bought it for $250. Do you break the producer off anymore, or the business was the business at the time?
Man, me, the type of person I am, I got to. You know what I'm saying? I believe in good and bad karma. I can't tell you what that percentage is gonna look like.
Right.
You know what I mean? But yeah, you can't.
But you catch one.
Yeah. It can't be like you paid.
Number 8 today.
Nah, because Designer paid his producer $200 for that beat that Panda.
Did he never double back and take care of it?
No.
See,
That's why they fell out.
I doubt it.
That's why they fell
that
out.
ain't cool.
But see, it's hard to be like, I feel like it's hard to be like, you're an up and coming artist, and $250 if you trying to come up in the game is hard for some of these dudes. And
Yeah.
Like $200, $500, $1,000. If I cash you out, buddy, we done.
Yeah, that's it.
Bro, you literally probably took food out of my kid's mouth.
Yeah.
And I'm just, I invested in myself with this 1,000. So if I do anything,
I mean, but it's a number.
right?
It's a numbers game,
I
though.
give you a referral.
No. If because look, Vanilla Ice getting 800 bands a year, bro.
But the man who made the Vanilla Ice beat, that doom 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 doom, whoever that, he getting paid too though. Goddamn.
Are you sure?
He's still eating.
Gotta get it.
Man, let me ask you this question, man.
What's up?
How would you handle, like a lot of the people we grew up, listening to on Route 4, they got finessed. I watched the New Edition movie. They made 5 cents after going platinum. TLC,
Yeah.
$15 or some shit. Like, how would you handle that? Like, if you went platinum and you got like 15 cents to show to your name, and you're in a contract, and you gotta.
I really can't like tell you how I would navigate that, and be honest, because I don't know. I ain't never been in that situation, but I want all the smoke.
Yeah. Would you run up in the studio?
I need to talk to.
Yeah. Would you run up in there with a baseball bat?
Yeah.
And start smashing desk.
Cameron said when he tried to get out of his contract, he just had all his Harlem niggas. He just in the office making boys mad, uncomfortable. He's like, we was in there making boys mad.
Yeah.
He's like, you come up.
Shout out to Killer though. Shout out to Cam. Shout out to Cam.
Man. You got any shout outs you want to kick?
Yeah, man. Like really, man. I gotta give shout outs to like my circle, man. Like I got a huge circle, like my manager, Steph, you know, like just really like my core, man. Like a lot of times like artists get elevated and they get all this attention, but they don't give, you know, the love to they DJ, they PR, they manager, people that really make, you know, everything go like full circle. So that's it, man. Like really just like my inner circle, you know. I don't want to solo everybody out, but yeah.
And then for anybody that's trying to get any contacts with you with any bookings or any features, how would they do that?
Yeah. So on the Twitter is D.Tall Music, DTALL Music. IG is D.Tall, D.TALL. And it's the same thing on Pandora, Spotify, Tidal, Apple Music. Everything is D.Tall. Yeah,
man, D.Tall, man, we love you, man. We salute you. You're a staple in the city. You've been doing your thing for a long time. You got many more years of success coming, man. Go catch the project, man. Y'all already know. Tell them what the project is again.
Yeah. So what we working on right now, I got the new single, me and Kirko Bangz. It's called Flex 101. So look out for that. We got release parties for the joint coming in different spots around the country. And we just going to elevate this thing like all the way. So look out for it.
Retirement.
Shout out to Kirko.
Really, bro, he never went with the bro. Be working hard.
Yeah.
D.Tall, man. D.Tall Music, man. We salute everything you doing, man. You are a real life street star.
Hey.
Shout out Reallyfe street stars, nigga. Move. Hey.